How we doing? Amazing stuff. Now, obviously, you are not here for me. You are here for the wonderful Jon Ashton, but we all know by now that there is a very specific way that he likes to have us all before he comes in. So I would like you all up on your feet, as we are all a family by now. We don't need to be embarrassed in front of each other. We've had 6 of these, okay? We all know each other so well. We're besties, we're all a family. So we're all gonna dance together and have a good time. Are we ready? Okay, let's hit it, DJ. Oh, we got a classic. Slow motion. Wave those hands. Wave those hands. I need everyone's hands in the air. Has anyone got any flashlights on their phone? Got the flashlights. Oh, we got some flashlights in the back. Are we ready? Okay, everyone, give it up for the wonderful Jon Ashton.
There's only one way to show my love to you. It's giving you. Jeremiah, you may need a new glass of wine. Sorry, pal. Someone said they love me. That's why you don't underestimate a Disneycruiseline guest. I always, when I come on stage, after the gloves the other day and the first aid kit, I'm telling you, I've got to be careful because I know you're so good. That was so sharp. I gave 1 glass of wine because someone said they love me, and she said, we all love you, Jon. Trying to get everyone a glass of wine. I had the most joyous evening. Some friends of ours, we went out for dinner and we went back to the room, and we had some alcoholic beverages. And have you ever had it when you just feel so comfortable and you love people and you just do nothing but laugh? I had tears strolling down my eyes. I was trying to tell a story, but the problem is when you know the end, you laugh, don't you? And I'm surprised he didn't throw me out the room. I'm so glad I'm not in that band Kiss, because I'd look awful with the makeup. Oh, I was just crying, laughing. We had the most joyous time. And I was actually out till about 10:20 last night, which is really, I know it sounds silly, but that's late for me. But I had a really grand time, and to those friends, I want to say thank you so much. I love you guys, and I want to say to my friends as well this morning, I'm sorry I didn't make coffee. I'm sorry. Actually, have you ever had it when you just don't sleep right, and you just roll around? I had this strange dream. It was the strangest dream. I had a dream that I ate an 18-inch marshmallow. I woke up this morning and I couldn't find a pillow. I was rolling around the bed. I looked like a sushi roll, you know, with the roll. I just had one of those nights of just not a good sleep. I live in Martha's Vineyard, and I know what you're thinking. Oh, very la-di-da. Well, you can only hide the profits for so long. And we always get guests when you're a chef and you've got a given heart. People always want to come and stay. And I have a studio next door to my house. I have a studio. I just need to start videotaping myself. But we have the studio and it's gorgeous. And when people come, they always, you know, I always do breakfast in the studio because I get up nice and early. And I'll never, a few weeks ago, I said, okay, the night before, because the first day of vacation, you have copious amounts of alcohol, don't you? You just, especially, you know, I've seen some of you on Captain's Night. No, I haven't. No, there's another waiter over there. And you have copious amounts, and you always say, I'm going to meet at 8 o'clock. Now, I always give you cooking tips, but I want to give you a life tip. This works brilliant, and this is a move that, honest, every time I've done it, it's a home run. Do you know what I mean? So if they turn up late that first day for breakfast, which mostly they do because they drink more than what they should and it's free, the ideal thing to do, when you say, how are you doing? They're like, oh gosh, what a lovely sleep I had. I slept sound as a pound. Unbelievable. You had a good sleep. Oh, like a rock at the bottom of the ocean. And then I always plant this seed. I say, wow, funny you should say that. Because most guests, they don't have a good sleep because they feel the energy, because this used to be on a graveyard. You just plant the seed, you say nothing at all. The next morning, it's all in the head. They're there for breakfast on time. Oh, unbelievable. I had the duvet against my face. Gladys was looking through the window for the ghosts. It works like a charm. We're going to Barcelona. I'm so excited. It's one of my favorite food cities. And we think about tapas. And what makes tapas so good? It's small bites. And I love small bites. When we think about small bites, we think about tapas, meze in Greece. We think about dim sum in Chinese. And then we think about sushi. All these little bites. And what happens is with the human palate, if you think about it, what happens with food, you have, after 3 to 5 tablespoons of food, your palate adjusts to what you're eating. So no matter what you're eating, that initial sensation, when you dive in the pool, you feel the shock of the coldness, but your body adjusts to it after about 30 seconds. When you get in a hot bath, you're sitting there and you think, wow, this is a wee bit warm. And then after about 60 seconds, you start adding some water. Same things happens with the palate, and that's why it's so exciting when you have tapas. The king of all of the tapas, the #1 seller, is the Patatas Bravas. It's this potato, and we think about from England, we love those potatoes. But when we're frying a potato, if we're in England, it's going to be Morris Piper. If it's going to be in America, we're going to use Idaho. We want something with a high starch. Your Yukon Golds in America are perfect for, you know, making mashed potatoes. So different potatoes for different, how you're cooking them. I use this peeler. This one is called Kuhn, Q-U-H-N. I don't work for the brand. It's a fantastic peeler. It's about $4 or $5. And there's many brands out there, but this one's absolutely fantastic. Any product I tell you about, I don't work for one of the companies. I'm not a Pinocchio. I know a lot of chefs, they try to make a wee bit of money by trying to sell you the goods. But I will say this, if you go along to jonashton.com, you can buy yourself a no sausages mug. And once you have this no sausages mug, you never say a naughty word again. With potatoes, you can peel them the night before if you want to. But we always want to try to peel potatoes, and then we want to get them in some water. Potatoes, just like apples, they're going to oxidize. Potatoes have pectin in them. Apples have pectin in them. It's going to cause browning. So we're just peeling the potato. But you can see just how easy it is to peel the potato. Just coming around the potato. And with the potato, you know, we don't really have to worry too much. If it's got an eye in it, see one of these eye things, take that out, because there's nothing worse. We're not serving Greek food. We don't need the eye looking at us for good luck. Just coming in and taking the eye out. And we're just peeling the potato. When we do Patatas Bravas, when we have this, like I said yesterday with the croutons, you want something that's bite-sized. You don't want something where you have to eat like a horse. You just want something where you can put in your mouth, close it, enjoy it, and celebrate it. Whenever we're chopping something, I don't know if I'm best here. Am I best on here with the board? Yeah, okay, let's do that. I want you to see. I think a lot of the times, let's put these on. Whenever we're chopping something, we want to make sure we're on anything that's round, we want to make sure we just take a piece off. So I'm going to take a piece off, which I'm going to use, but now I've got a flat surface. Because I think sometimes if we're making butternut squash, or sometimes we're chopping something round, we try to dice it, and what happens is on a round surface, it's going to just roll around, you know, and then you might cut your thumb. So you want to make sure you take a small amount off. So I'm just going to chop it into strips, and I'm going to move it off to the side. Starch, because of the potato, is going to stick to the knife, so please just move it off. Don't be trying to stack them, just chopping it. And now I can stack them, and I'm chopping them into these pieces. If I was making a chip in England, like for chips and fish, I'd have these big chips, big fat chips. If we're making fish and chips, so big juicy fat chips. Not slender French fries, big fat chips. Taking the eye out. So now we're going to do into cubes. Just chopping them into cubes. Bite size, perfect. They're going to cook quickly. So the difference with this recipe compared to what they do in Spain is we're going to do a little bit different. You know, obviously in Spain, when they first started this recipe, when they would cook it, they would just double fry, and double fry is great, but we're going to do something a little bit different that ensures an extra crispy potato. They were crispy in the kitchen. They've got to travel all the way up here. So when you get it, and don't come up to me when I'm on the top deck telling me that the food's only lukewarm. It's free. The people are working hard, you know, but they've got to come. They're like Sherpas going up the plumbing Peru. Machu Picchu. Take some baking soda. Whenever you're making fries, whenever you're making patatas bravas, baking soda. Baking soda in the water is going to change the pH. When we change the pH, that's going to bring some of the pectin out. So the outside of the potato, it's going to get roughed up. If you're making roasties at home in England, if anyone's English, roasted potatoes, we call them roasties. Small amount. My stepdad, he's quite steadfast in the way he cooks. And he said, I've been making roasted potatoes for years. And I said, just try it. Little bit of baking soda in the water. It's a game changer. Stirring it around. Take the potatoes, let them cook for a minute or two, just adding them to the water. After the potatoes are cooked, as you can see, this is up to a fierce boil. So, you want to pre-cook your potatoes. Oh, that's so hot. I'll have to use some mitts. Do you know, I had this part of my dream, what I had, which sometimes dreams don't come true and sometimes they do. I had a dream that someone would have turned the stove on before I come into the room. So I've got these potatoes and I've pre-cooked these ones. I'm going to use a slotted spoon. Whenever we make mashed potatoes, whenever we make a fried potato, drain it off. When you drain it off, put it back in the pan for a moment, because what's happening is that potato's still got that water, so you drain it off and put the pan back on the stove. And what we're trying to do here is just get the excess water off, the excess water off the potato, because when you drain, it's always going to be the same way. You take this off to the side. I'm not a betting man, but there's a jolly good chance this oil is going to be about as hot as my career. And we all know where I am today. Yeah, it's not very hot. So we want to bring up the oil to nice and hot. And I imagine you've got a great stove at home, and I imagine that it doesn't take long for you to get your stove hot. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer on here. Happy days. We're going to make a sauce. Tomato paste, it's the most concentrated. We take tomatoes, we puree them, we reduce down the water content. Perfect. I think one of the things with tomato paste, what we do, we open up a can, because we open up a can and we don't use it all because it says just add a tablespoon for it. Take your ice cube trays, place it into ice cubes. So now you can just take an ice cube of it. Because the stuff in the squirty bottle, like the toothpaste bottle, whatever you call it, it costs a lot more money. It's usually twice as much. It's convenient, but it costs twice as much. Buy the bigger tin, make it into ice cubes. Same if you with your garlic. If you go to Costco or you go to the store and you buy the garlic, pre-peeled garlic, just have a wee smell of it. If it doesn't smell too good, just drop it in a wee bit of boiling water just to take off the smell. If you've ever got fish that's too stinky and it doesn't smell right, just put it in some milk for about an hour. The lactic acid is going to remove some of that smell from the fish and it's going to help it smell a lot better. If you don't believe me, I'll make you some tomorrow. Garlic you can put in a food processor. I always say make garlic ice cubes. Anytime you can have convenience, it works out just smashing. So I'm 1 pan short of sausages. I got no option. I'm going to take this pan, put the potatoes in there. The larger the pan, if you're making risotto, at home, use a larger pan. You want evaporation. The larger the pan, the more the evaporation. But when it comes to cooking, don't use a 12-inch pan if you've only got an 8-inch ring, because the rest of it's a waste of time. And at home as well, if you're cooking on electric, don't be buying a wok. A wok's no good because the heat's only going to be on the bottom part. So if you've got a wok, you need some gas around it. So I think a lot of people think that I want to make authentic food in a wok, but you're only heating the bottom part. Just use your skillet. For non-stick pans, I recommend Tefal. Tefal's a great brand, about 25 to 30 bucks dollars in England, with the tariffs 140. Don't think I'm not trendy. Every now and again someone sends me a message on the Facebook. But you can use, I use all clad in general, and because they'll last forever. And then I use, for non-stick, I use Tefal. And I know there's a lot of other brands. I've tried the Maiden, is it called? What's the other one called? There's one called Maiden, is it? There's one famous one with Hexiclad. I tried it, but things stick to it. You know, I thought it was okay, but I didn't. I found that all non-stick pans lose their coating. So you might as well just get one what's good and last, and I would really recommend that. The potatoes, we're taking the excess water off. I'm going to take some tomato paste. Now with this recipe, it's one of those recipes where you have to find the balance of your flavour with this. If it feels too acidic, you can add a bit of sweetness to it. Honey, sugar, agave nectar, sweet and low, Splendor. Sherry vinegar. If you haven't got sherry vinegar, use some balsamic vinegar. Or you could just use some white vinegar and a splash of sherry and have yourself a glass of sherry. Treat yourself, you work hard, you deserve it. Some smoked paprika or regular paprika comes in. Add some garlic to it if you want to add garlic. If you like garlic, add some garlic. A little bit of garlic puree. Lemon juice, olive oil, in a blender, garlic puree, chef's best friend. Great for sauces. If you want to, add some wine. Remember, we start with a recipe, but it's all up to you where you want to go. I always give you the foundations of a recipe, but I always say to you, don't keep it in a straitjacket. You're the captain of your taste buds. Please feel free to serve the food. Thank you so much. I'm going to add some wine to here. Giving this a stir. ladies and gentlemen, Dario. Can you just stare around this? It actually looks like I'm looking at it. It's really good, Dario. But I want you to show, see, you think that it's easy being on the stage. You think it's easy. You think it's so easy to have a live audience in front of you. Oh, yeah. Oh, wait there. Let me get that angle, Dario. Oh, unbelievable.
Potatoes. Would you like some potatoes?
Dario's worked with me for 4 years. He's blessed my soul. He's never ever once been on stage and done that before. Wow. Brilliant. A little bit of water, it's catching on the bottom. This sauce now, your biggest, I think one of the big things here with this sauce is just balancing out that acidity, guys. The biggest thing if you have this sauce now is when you make it at home, because different tomato paste and different sherry vinegars, so it's just going to be balancing out that. So when you make it, just look for that balance with that sauce if you could for me. We've got this thick sauce, bringing it off to one side. It's the magician's trunk. I think, would it be good to talk about wine? Is this a good time? Does anyone fancy a drink? How's it taste? Good. Yeah. There's only one man I know who can bring us all wine, and I know you love him. He's a dear soul. He's getting better every day at dancing. Before we know it, he'll be on America Hasn't Got Talent. Ladies and gentlemen, will you welcome to the stage Jeremy?
Hello, everyone. How are you today? It's good, alright. Are you ready for the wine? Alright, so please let me introduce you to the wine. What we have today is a Riesling. This Riesling is an off-dry Riesling. So all the Riesling in general, they came from the cold country and the cold region, which means you provide a lot of crispy and refreshing. The idea, we just want to give you something like the off-dry, a little bit sweet and very refreshing, just like the lemon juice, kind of the sweet lemon juice. And every time we take the Bravas tomato, like potato, I'm so sorry, too much wine sometime, alright? Yes, potato Bravas. So every time you take a sip of this wine, you rinse out the creaminess and also the oiliness from the potatoes, alright? And that's the idea we select for this wine. And some of the wine is much more light body, easy to drink, crispy, refreshing. Yeah. All right. And also we're selling this wine in our dining room. It's called Selbach Riesling, which is one of our very biggest producer. Yeah, Selbach Riesling, which is one of our biggest producer, and 100% Cabernet Sauvignon, all the way came from Germany. Excellent. All right. Thank you, chef.
That's it. You know, Ken, they wasn't with you today, and there's only one way. I'm with you always. Give me some music, DJ. I don't know what he's gonna play. That's not the song for me and Ken to dance to. A real good time. It says more people call him Jeremiah than Ken now. So what we've done is, I talked about the potatoes, and it's really an important step. If we're making mashed potatoes or we're making roasted potatoes, by putting it back in the pan, that excess water. Our goal with mashed potatoes is to remove as much as that water content from the potato, so it'll absorb cream and butter. At this stage now, can you see the way the edges of the, where's the cameraman, where's the eye, oh there it is, there. Can you see here? If you look at the edges of the potato, can you see the edges? No. Sausages, there's got to be a way we can do it. What about if we stood here? Come down a bit. Show me teeth off. Chicago Dental. You can do it too if you're feeling bad about your palate. Look at these chompers. They fix me and Steve Harvey. Sausages. Can you see the potatoes? So, you see the edges of the potato? See the way, can you see that? There's a bit of smoke. Can you see the smoke coming off it? You can see that? Lower. What do you think it is? The Price is Right. Can you see it? Can you see the edges? You see it? It's not square. It looks like Alfred Hitchcock. But those edges is because of the soda. It breaks down the outside, and when we have those edges, it gives us the most crispiest roasted potatoes. I've got the oil lukewarm. It should be 375 Fahrenheit. This is gonna go as brown as you if you go on vacation to England. If anyone's planning a vacation to England, summer's on a Wednesday. Use a thermometer to get the temperature of your oil. Always use a thermometer. If you know that it's not at the right temperature and you've got 300 odd people in the audience, don't put it in, because they'll know it's not hot. 375 Fahrenheit. Take a piece of bread. If it browns really quickly, it's ready. I'm going to add one potato to see what it looks like. I'm so glad the stove isn't over it. Oh, so hot. Oh, unbelievable. My goodness, it looks like we're doing a cremation. Unbelievable. So the potatoes are just medley enjoying themselves in a lukewarm oil. I've got some just come out the fryer. Oh, they're so hot. Unbelievable. If you have the oil too low, what's going to happen is the potato will absorb the oil, and that's how you end up. You've ever had a potato and it's greasy? So you always want to make sure that oil is about 370 Fahrenheit, because if you cook it in lower than that, it's going to be really greasy and it's going to be awful. It's going to be absolutely, it's a big fail. It's a... Still, we've got 2 more shows. Oh, we should, no. Okay, fair enough. We don't want to fry at a low temperature. That's a... No. Come on, you got it. You ready? want the oil to be low. Oh, sausages. You can get your own sausages cup at jonashton.com. You don't want the oil to be too low because your potato will be all greasy, and that's it.
No.
Wasn't bad. Right, when the potatoes come out of the fryer, they come out the fryer and they're going to be sizzling hot. Oh, look at that. Whoa, wow, they're just sizzling hot, coated in oils. Ooh, wow, fierce heat. Wow, unbelievable. Straight into the pan. Be careful you don't burn your... Oh, yes, they're so hot. At this stage, a tiny bit of salt, a little bit of Percy pepper, a little bit of pepper. We forget pepper when we're seasoning. Give them a tossing. Toss them just on the... See the paper towel? We're just tossing them. You've been wanting to do something with that wok for 20 years. Well, you can use a bowl, it's just that I don't have one. Give them a tossing around. The oil's going to coat them. They're lovely and warm and crispy. It actually is starting to get hot. So we've got these hot potatoes. The potatoes can be made the day before. Quick fry on them in the freezer. If you're planning, say for instance Auntie Gladys is coming around, or your CEO of your company for dinner, blanch them off, put them in the freezer. So blanch them off in the water, put them on a tray, let them cool, put them on a baking sheet in the freezer, and then once they're frozen, gather them together, put them in one of them Ziploc bags, or you don't sponsor me, sealable bags, and then that day, bring them out straight into the hot oil. You've got yourself the perfect potato. It's actually better if you freeze it, because when you freeze it, it breaks down the cell walls in the potato and it ends up fluffier. So we bring these hot potatoes out, we've seasoned them. At this point now, we're going to take some, I've made a mayonnaise. There's different types of mayonnaise. When you go to the south, they love Dukes. Some people love Hellmann's. But if you get yourself a wee chance to try a Kewpie, a Japanese mayonnaise, it's a game changer. All of the recipes that you get to try today are tested. I am so blessed with the Disney guests that they test the recipes, and I think I've got where's my recipe testers here? Where are they? Is Rob and Kerry here? Come up here. Come in. Rob and Kerry are beautiful souls I met many years ago. They seen me on a commercial for charity. Adopt this kid.
And we donated what we could.
Before we come on a cruise, Rob and Kerry make all the recipes. So they try all the recipes and they give the feedback from a home cook. After they give the feedback, I go back in my kitchen, make the recipe again, and I say, okay, I think that's great feedback. So all of the recipes that you get to try, they've tried in their home kitchen with regular pots and pans, and they have a stove what heats up. It doesn't.
It really gets around.
But can you give them a round of applause? Thank you, guys. It's important that we share recipes that, you know, do work, but also recipes that you can change. So I shared with Kerry a Kewpie recipe. So I'm going to use a bowl. I'm going to place the hot potatoes on the board because they're just piping hot. I'm going to take some mayonnaise. Oh, I should put this here so you can see it. Now when you go to Spain, you must try them there as well. I'm going to take some of that Kewpie mayonnaise. It's silky, it's beautiful. A small amount. If you want to make a mayonnaise more flavorful, get your rasp grater, microplane rasp grater. The zest of the lemon is much sweeter than the inside, so don't throw that away. Whenever you've got lemons at home, rasp grater, freeze it. That beautiful sun-kissed skin has such sweetness. Some lemon zest, whether you like Duke's, whether you like Hellman's, any mayonnaise you like, you can dress it up. A little bit of lemon zest in there, a little bit of garlic, and then balance it off, because it's going to be spicy. You'll want a little bit of honey. So now we've made the tomato sauce. At this stage now, what they do in Spain is the tomato sauce they mix with the mayonnaise. So they just mix them together, and you get this wonderful blush-colouring sauce. And to serve this, we take a bowl. We use a wok. They're stretching me, aren't they? It really is. I can't serve that much mayonnaise. You don't want mayonnaise soup. Who wants orange chicken? We take some of the potatoes in the bottom of the bowl. We place these hot potatoes in the center. Oh, Jiminy Cricket. Oh, yes, you're right. You are right. I should use something for these hot potatoes. Where's my safety glove? It's a good point. I was scared in case of deep fried it. Boy, did I have that wrong. At this point now, we're going to add some parsley. We put it in a bowl, a little bit of parsley. When we use parsley, please use the flat leaf stuff. Don't use that thing that looks like Richard Simmons. You want the flat leaf. That other stuff's for butcher's shops. It's not for that. And then we get someone to have a taste. I want to get this wrapped up so I can talk about Barcelona. A little bit of pepper. A little bit more parsley. Who's going to be my taste tester today? Who's at the back? You seem very jovial at the back. Right there. Sorry, you stood up already. Well, Justin. Wow, he's coming. Jiminy Cricket is very excited. Give him a round of applause. All right. Got another one? You want to try this really hot dish I made? Just make sure my mic's off. It's going to be cold. What's your name?
John.
John?
DeFrank.
Pardon?
John DeFrank.
I'm John. John to Frank, I mean.
I'm Frank.
I'm John. Where are you from?
Chicago.
That's where I got my teeth.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, on Lincoln Avenue. You got yours as well?
Yeah, from my mom.
All right, John. I see you're out there going. John, this would be served in a bowl. You would never serve it in a wok. Now, I want you to know, John, have you got a good imagination? Sometimes. John, these potatoes are hot. That mayonnaise is cool. It's the yin and the yang effect. The hot potato, the cool sauce. Oh, it's so good. I'm going to give you the spoon. I'm going to give it this spoon. And what I want you to do, I really don't want you to burn your palate. So what you're going to do is just blow on it. You're going to blow on it. I know it's hot, isn't it? It really is. You can hear it. No, that's the pan behind. Have you ever had a cold potato?
Yes.
You have. Did you like it?
No. Did you like it?
Let's try it again. Wow. Wow. My goodness. Did you like the cold potato?
Oh, it was delicious.
I'm so happy. Let's try it again. just want you to know, John, we're recording this show. I'm trying to sell a show. My career's at an almighty low. John, this potato's really hot. Dario, use this tea. Dario's over there.
Hey, Dario.
Just go with the flow. I'm gonna hand you the spoon. We're recording. It's gonna look real. Do you like hot potatoes?
Oh, yes, please.
Blow on it, please, John. One more time, just in case. Oh, again. Now try this hot fried. Just try the potato, John. Close your eyes.
Oh, it's hot.
No.
La 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 la. Ah la 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 la. Rumba.
Sausages. Happy days. When it's hot, it's a lovely dish. And cold, it's great if you've had copious amounts of alcohol and you just want to have something. But it's a really good dish. What did we learn there? So we learned that the baking soda changes the pectin in the potato. If we're making roasted potatoes or fried potatoes, it's the way to go. You end up with a great exterior shell on it. Barcelona. So I wrote down a few places. If you want to take these down, but we've got to have one agreement if we can have this before I say this. Can we have one agreement? Promise? Who said sure? That means yes. If I see you there and I can't get a seat, you've got to sacrifice it for me. Because this is what's going to happen. You got me back. La Boqueria is the open air market, one of the oldest open air markets on Les Ramblers. I think one of the talented chefs, myself, a lot of the chefs who I know, Boulard, Ducasse, Ferran Andrea from El Bulli, everybody goes to this one place when they go there. It's called El Quim, E-L-Q-U-I-M. It's in La Boqueria, and you'll know the logo because it's a fried egg. Absolutely phenomenal. Him, the chef and his mum and dad, they all work in their tiny little booth, and everybody's getting the groceries, the vegetables, the fruits, they're getting the fish, the meat. Phenomenal. Please make sure you go there. Hotel 1898. Phenomenal food. Bit more elegant, but fantastic. Been around for a long, long time. Food is consistent right on the shore. Bar La Plata, and that's in the Gothic Quarter. Those are my top 3 places, and you probably will see on Saturday myself and Dario at those places. Tomato bread, when we think about Italy, we think about bruschetta. When we think about Spain, we think about the tomato bread. We take tomatoes where they're ripe, and we talked about it in the first show. A lot of the soils are damaged in America because we don't have regenerative farming, whereas in Europe the tomatoes are wonderful. They take the tomato, they grate it, they grill the bread. Very simple dish, you've got to have it. Patatas Bravas, you've had today's one, you can try a real one when you go there. The Iberico ham, if you think about the ham, we think about that beautiful black-footed pigged ham. Absolutely wonderful, different than prosciutto. Fantastic. Gambas, prawns, classic dish. Take the garlic prawns, just a little bit of olive oil, bay leaf, chili, and get some bread with that. Croquettes, if you like potato, do the croquettes. And then I would say, what else would I say? Oh, the torta, the Spanish torta. Sliced potatoes, eggs, done so well. Easy dish. And there's some of the favourites. I know you probably have seen it online. Just be careful of pickpockets on Les Lambras. It's always the same thing. So, you know, if you're going along, if you can. Good tips. I've been travelling all my life. I am a world traveller, Disney World. I've been to 7 countries at one day at Epcot. One of the things I like to do is, and you just put this in the back of your head whenever you go, like I remember I was in Madagascar, I always, for me, I have a false wallet. So I have a false wallet, and what I do is I always have the false wallet in my back pocket. So if someone wants to steal, they're going to do it. But just being careful, and the false wallet, and if you get mugged, a good idea with a false wallet is if someone was to mug you, and I started this after Chicago, the false wallet, the mugger, if someone was to mug you, you throw the wallet that way, you head off the other direction. They're always going to go after the money with it. But just being careful for pickpockets, that's the only thing I would say. The food is absolutely phenomenal, really, really good, great wine. It's a glorious place, and get lots of tapas and let them dance on your taste buds. I never got to the last 2 days to do any questions and answers, so we've done a few shows. I'll open it up to question and answers, but you're not allowed to ask about the pirate uniform because that day is gone. Let's do it.
Okay, who's coming up first? I'm gonna come over here.
I'll come over to you. You got your wine glass?
Let's go to there.
Still full? No worries, man. This is good. What's your question? You've been waiting 2 days for it? Oh, sausages. Hyping up fresh ginger? Yeah. This is a really good one. He said, just to repeat the words, I might paraphrase a small amount, I'd rather get kicked in the shins than peel fresh ginger, and I've done the spoon thing. So when we go to the store, I am a ginger rascal. So ginger is a root, and it grows with all these little knobbly things. And you want to, because it's expensive, you want to try to get your money's worth out of the ginger. So I'll break off the knobs. I always look for ginger. First of all, I look to see it at the skin. If the skin looks like it's old, if it's not soft, so the older it gets, the more the skin, like our skin, it ages. No, it is. We always age. That's part of it. The most wonderful thing, I'll come back to you. I've just got to be fluffy for a minute. This on the outside is wrapping paper. This is wrapping paper. The real present's on the inside. As we age, we're meant to fade. The wrapping paper's meant to fade. Your beauty has got to come from the inside. That's how life works. Back to the ginger, sorry. So you want to, with the ginger, is you've got to get a younger one. So look at the skin, it shouldn't be too thick. Take off the knobbly parts and then use a good peeler. If it's really young, you can use a spoon. But what happens is, for most of us, we don't know. The darker the skin, if it's more yellowish coloured, like yellow, I'll take a look downstairs and see if I can find it, just to show you. I don't have a visual thing. It's like frying a potato. It's impossible now at the moment. Take a peeler and peel it, and then food process the ginger straight into the ice cubes. Does that help? Or maybe you just want to kick in the shin. Questions? But you know what, man? What area are you from? Where? Oh, it's too. I was going to say you could have come to Martha's Vineyard. We have ghosts there. Yeah. Yeah. Saying, yeah, Maillard reaction is over about 335 Fahrenheit. We're going to get Maillard reaction. So what is a Maillard reaction? It's the proteins, the natural sugars browning. How do we say that in these terms where we understand? If I give you a piece of bread, just a piece of bread, but if I toast that bread, why does it taste so good? That's the Maillard reaction. If I give you a steak and I boil it, and I say cook it to the same temperature as a piece of steak that I've seared and I've on the grill, that's a Maillard reaction. So it's just the proteins and the sugars and something browning. So a lot of people are surveying, so you just want to cook something and then you'll see it afterwards. Or if you're doing a big piece of prime rib, you do the low and slow cooking, and then you bring it out, let it rest, and then bump the oven up to 500 Fahrenheit, brush it with oil, and get the Maillard reaction, so you got that brown, and it makes things more flavorful. Does that answer your question? Thank you. To a certain extent. This is why I don't open it up. Go on. Anyone else? Do you want to join me in this misery? Go on, say, what is it? Okay, saying here. It's caramelizing the outside proteins and sugars, but I think, let's just break it down. A caramel is a caramel with sugar, and then caramelization with onions, you know, you cook them really, really slow. So that will caramelize. So Maillard reaction is just that sear, that quick sear and browning on the outside. But like caramelization of onions would take a long time. Now you got me on my soapbox. You asked me to do this. If you are cooking onion soup, if you are browning onions, which onions are brilliant. Let me bring this off the stove. A lot of chefs will say, put it in a pot, onions. They put it in a pot. If you are going to make French onion soup, I'm going to show you how you save a fair bit of time. You always want to cut an onion around a lot of onions, sausages, I wish I had them. See, this is an onion. It's a brown onion. It's a different shape. It grew inside of a potato. This is an onion. So when you slice an onion, a lot of people will slice it this way, and you don't want to. When you're slicing an onion to make onion soup or caramelized onions, you want to go this way, because look at the lines of the onion. You want to go where its strength is. So you add the onions to a frying pan, not to a pot. You add it to a frying pan, and then what you want to do then is add about 3 tablespoons of water and 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Put a lid on it. Our whole goal when we're making caramelized onions or French onion soup is to get the water content out of the onion. By pre-boiling them, bringing the water content, you save yourself a fair bit of time. Remove the lid and then start the cooking. Because people will always say, how can you brown onions so quickly? It's because you remove the water content. And I know you didn't ask about onions, but I had to get on the soapbox. Questions? How are we on time? And feel free to say something if I've got to go. Questions, everybody? Yes, my dear, I'll come to you second. You've been frying potatoes your whole life, you look well. Must be a good business. Okay, fair enough. I've been frying potatoes all my life, but today I'm supposed to boil them first. You can do a pre-fry, so you can, in the oil, do a lower fry, 325 the first fry and then the second fry. What we're doing here is try to get that exterior crust. We're trying to get those crusty bits on the outside so it gets that lovely, that wonderful texture for it. So that's why we pre-boil. And you're saving yourself on oil and all the oil everywhere, so you can bring. But here's what I would say as well. If you've had the most amazing success doing what you do, keep doing it in a nice way. Honestly, I mean that sincerely. That answers your question. And if it is that good, can we all come to your house for dinner? Yeah, the lady behind. Someone had a... Say again, that bit louder. A good ratatouille. Ratatouille toulé means to stir, slow cooking. You know, we've all seen the movie, which is an amazing movie, and we've seen how Thomas Keller designed it, where he sliced it really thin. It's just cooking them slowly and letting the vegetables come out. A peasant dish from Provence. Just cooking it slowly, seasoning it, salt and pepper, just really, really slow. And it doesn't have to have that fancy presentation. And using good vegetables, if you can get good organic vegetables with that one. I don't know how am I on time? Have I got to wrap it up? How are we going?
Yeah, pretty much.
Got to wrap up. Last question. What's the favourite thing to make? Oh, sausages, Jiminy Cricket. That's like saying what's my favourite Beatles hit. Lily, are you in here? Lily as well. Lily's from Liverpool. You're going to stay? Make sure you stay. I want to see you before you go, if that's okay. My absolute favourite thing to make, I would probably say guests happy. I want to say thanks so much. I know the queues are long and everything, but thanks so much for coming along. I know you've all got to gather off. The cabana's going to be open. You've got to eat. You haven't eaten for 2 hours. Have a wonderful day, and then we're going to have a day off tomorrow, and then we're coming back. We're going to have a taste of pork schnitzel. I'm going to teach you how to make spätzle. So have a grand day, everybody. Cheerio for now.
One more time, let's make some noise